Introduce Chief Sean Duggan.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for being here today. As you can imagine, it's been a very difficult week for the Chandler Police Department and really the entire Chandler community. We lost two exceptionally talented and dedicated police officers in the matter of 3 days. Last Tuesday afternoon, Officer Brian Holmes was involved in a fatal traffic collision on his way to work at the intersection of Wrecker and Baseline in the town of Gilbert. And early this morning, Officer David Payne was struck by a vehicle while he was stopped on his motorcycle at a red light at the intersection of Chandler Boulevard and Pennington. Both these officers, both Officer Payne and Officer Holmes, throughout their careers, they touched many people's lives. And each day when they came to work, they made a difference. And that's something that not many professions can say, where every day that you know when you come to work, you do something good and you help people. And that's what these two officers will be remembered for. It's been said that policing is it's a noble profession, and both these officers exemplified nobility. Officer Holmes was a patrol officer working a beat, and he was very well known in his community. And he had exceptional problem-solving skills, and that's a very special talent in our profession. Officer Payne was a motorcycle officer assigned to the nighttime DUI squad, and he had a passion early on in his career. His passion was to remove impaired drivers from roadways, and that's what he did, and that's what he loved to do. And I'm absolutely confident that over the course of his career, many hundreds of impaired drivers he removed from the road, what he did was he prevented tragedies from happening by his proactive enforcement efforts. So right now, our department is grieving like a family. And even though it's early in the day, we've experienced tremendous, overwhelming support from the public and from our law enforcement partners here in the Valley. And at this point, I just ask that for you to please keep in mind and your thoughts and prayers the families of Officer Holmes and Officer Payne, and to reflect on and remember the dedication and the amazing and tireless work that happens every day in this community, the men and women of the Chandler Police Department who tirelessly work to ensure that Chandler remains a safe community. Thank you. Any questions?
Is there any questions? Anybody have any questions? Or thank you so much.
Indeed. Right. The suspect last night, his name is Brian Yazzie, and he has a history of DUI offenses and other criminal offenses, and we believe that he was under the influence of alcohol at the time that he struck Officer Payne.
You have a DOD on him, sir?
I can get that to you later. All right, I'll refer this to the PIO for the specific questions on the case. But yes, he did have a child in the vehicle last night. Right. At this point, it's very early on in our processing right now. So, policing is a dangerous profession, and whether it's driving a motorcycle or being on the SWAT team or making a traffic stop by yourself at 2 in the morning, there are inherent dangers, and our job is to mitigate those dangers through training and equipment and policies, and we will have those discussions most certainly.
I didn't hear the question, sir, so I might be repeating, but these are 3 different motorcycle wrecks with 3 different circumstances. I don't know what it would be, but is there anything you can do to protect your office?
Right. As I just stated briefly, policing is a dangerous profession. And whether you're involved on a SWAT call out or an officer going to a domestic violence call, our job is, in policing, is to ensure that our officers have the training, the equipment, and the policies in place to keep them safe. At this point, we will review our policies and make sure that everything was in order, and to do whatever we can within reason to mitigate situations like this and ensure that our officers are as safe as possible. I did. I spoke with the parents of both officers, and as you can imagine, they've lost a son and a family member and a brother, and it's just it's a complete tragedy, and words can't really describe that. They're feeling it as you would feel if you lost a loved one unexpectedly.
Chief, what about the timing of that? This is just numbing pain, I'm sure for everyone here at Chandler PD to lose 2 in 1 week.
It's unprecedented for our organization, certainly, and it's I would say it's certainly not routine in any department. But we have a resilient police department. We're made up of the most highly talented and skilled professionals, and we'll continue to provide law enforcement and ensure that the city remains safe, while at the same time we're mourning and moving through and moving forward with this personal tragedy. Thank you.
Do we have any case-specific questions that maybe I can try to answer for you, or?
Well, I was interested in the DOB.
He's a 31-year-old male, obviously. He had an 11-month-old baby in the vehicle with him. Following the crash, Yazzie fled the scene and stopped his car about a half a mile east of the crash location. And he was taken into custody by Chandler police officers at that location. The 11-month-old baby was turned over to the child's mother.
Do you know if it's male or female baby?
I do not know that right offhand, sir.
Okay. You're trying to differentiate between Brian Yazzie and the actual DOB.
He was born in 1983, and that's all the information that I can share with you. Yes. Through the course of this investigation, we are investigating him for being an impaired driver, DUI, alcohol impaired. We also, through the course of this investigation, found that his privilege to drive or operate a motor vehicle in the state of Arizona is currently suspended for DUI, and we believe has been since about 2010.
Since what year, Joe?
2010.
Basically, the irony of this is just incredible, isn't it? That you set a 12 to 20-year officer with absolutely devoted to his and then he dies doing the job he loves best.
Yeah. You know, the officers of the Chandler Police Department are extremely dedicated to their work. And in this case, you're talking about a night motor officer. This is an officer that wanted to work on a motorcycle, that wanted to do DUI enforcement. This is an officer that's highly trained, highly respected in the law enforcement and the DUI enforcement community. Highly trained as a drug recognition expert instructor, teaching other officers how to locate impaired drivers. Wait for the truck to go by. And this officer dedicated his career. This is what this officer wanted to do. Officer Payne is a motor officer. He wants to be on a motorcycle. He wants to enforce DUI law. And that's what he was doing last night. He was out on his motorcycle doing what he loved to do. And unfortunately, we had a DUI driver driving on a suspended driver's license rear-end our officer and take his life last night. And I can't stress enough the importance of keeping impaired drivers off of the road. And that's what these officers do every day and every night. That's what these officers do. So, any other questions? Thank you all so much. Thank you.